Hey YouTubers, welcome back to the shop, Kevy's One Stop Repairs and Airgun Mods by K&S. Yes, I have a multi-business. Ha ha ha. Anyway, alright, we're going to talk to you today about two particular guns to start with in this video. Also look in our video description, you'll also see a link to our website where you can buy some mod parts and check out mods we've done for people, etc. We also do restoring of air guns, custom woodwork, all kinds of stuff with pellet guns. You'll see it all up there. You'll also see some stuff right now that's for sale. It's because we had a gun show, so we had to make up some stock. Otherwise, we normally don't stock stuff. So if you want to take advantage of cheaper prices right now, go up there. You'll find some muzzle brakes in aluminum, a lot of them actually, and a couple in stainless steel, and one that's stainless steel and brass combination. So somebody might want to buy that before I snag it for myself, because it's a really nice one. I'm really proud of that muzzle brake. Anyway, so check our website out. Complete price lists are up there too. You'll also see a link for types of woods that we use. This will give you an idea of the exotic and non-exotic woods that we presently use for doing our grips with and other woodwork. So anyways, on with the show. The first gun we're going to talk to you about is the Crosman 2240. Now this gun right out of the box has got a 7-inch barrel, plastic grips, it's all black, which is kind of nice. And it'll actually take out partridge, jackrabbits, stuff like that, small game at about 10 meters. It puts out approximately up to 460 feet per second. Usually about 444, 456. I've seen the odd one at 460 and one or two at 467, which was actually quite amazing. Somebody screwed up and I ran 467. I gotta love that one. But hey, you know, so we're gonna show you my 2240 first. Now, keep in mind these are temporary grips on here because you're gonna see the actual grips that are gonna go on, but made out of bloodwood. But I had to do custom stuff, right, for the show. But I still like these grips either way, and I sell a lot of these in this particular style. They're very nice. These are maple. I can do these in many wood types, be it cocobolo, which is Mexican rosewood, bloodwood. Can do ash. We can do many, many different types of wood in the grips. So now, on a general full target set that's listed on our website, this is a full target set and what it would look like on a 2240. Okay, and this set is, you know, semi-rounded, but it's, you know, basically flat. Your thumb shelf is here, swallows your thumb right up very nicely, makes for a very nice targeting grip, gives you a good grip, you can hold on nice, balances things out very well. You've got the wide bottom on here, and you can hold your hand underneath, which gives you more stability too, and so on. Now, what I've done for a few other changes is I've added on a brass back cap. I still have to do the breech yet. This is not done by any means, guys. This is still a work in progress. Brass muzzle brake on the front, solid brass, with a screw-on front sight. I didn't have a metal one per se that I really liked, so I picked out the plastic one that I liked, but it still gave me a front sight because I didn't want to do a front sight pin on this one. I wanted something that was a little more like a front sight. So anyhow, Crosman steel breech, LPA rear sight, micro adjustable. These are really cool rear sights, and they're a lot cheaper than the Williams notch sight by far. They don't have the travel capability of the Williams notch sight, but they are still a very, very solid sight, very, very good quality, and I may end up start carrying these sights pretty soon, among other parts. But we'll see what happens. But anyhow, no front cap has been modded yet. Like I said, work in progress, work in progress. We have a 10-inch barrel on here, which kicks us out to about 489 feet per second. Okay, which is rather acceptable and still under the radar, you know. No valve mods, no transfer port mods, no hammer spring mods. I did, however, lighten up the trigger weight by about half. I wanted a little bit smoother trigger. I still want to smooth it out some more, but I'm also thinking I'll either make or actually buy an authentic Crosman made trigger shoe. Probably a few of them for my guns, because I got a few of these things. So, and I'm going to be buying more 2240s, so I'm going to mod the hell out of all of them as far as cosmetics go. And I do it more for the cosmetics, better shooting accuracy, and that little edge of extra speed closer to the 500. I always keep all my guns under 500. What other people do is what other people do. The next gun we're going to talk to you about now is the Crosman 1377. Now this is a pump-up gun, whereas the 2240 is CO2 powered. Pump-up guns are really nice. They're a pain in the sense that you got to pump them up 10 times to get full power. There are ways, however, around that. But as a stock pistol, and that's exactly what this is. This is stock except for the LPA rear sight, the breech, the back cap, grips, and pump arm. Everything else on this thing is stock. Well, the trigger spring, I lightened it up to about 2/3 less. So a little over half of that, a quarter more lightness than the 2240. Now this, as you can see, is also a different style of grip. This is a design that I came up with a couple of years ago that I really liked because I wanted a gun that would fit my hand but also become part of my hand. If you look at Fehrenbau guns, they're very expensive guns, and for a reason. They fit the shooter. They're designed to be fitted to the shooter, and they're designed to become part of your arm and give you nice, good balance and everything else that you want in life in a really super high-end gun. Well, you can have that kind of stuff when you get into this style of a grip. As far as the pistol goes, you can have that nice weight, you can have the quality, okay, because you're switching out all the plastic to wood and steel, or brass, aluminum. On the bottom here, it's double wide, okay, so you've got a bottom shelf for your palm and you've got a top for your trigger. I can literally just barely hold any pressure here. The gun is still staying in my hand. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so very, very nice and comfy. Again, full target, swallows that thumb up nice. You know, I really like these. We haven't quite decided on a price for these yet, I don't believe. If we have, it's on our website, but I don't believe we have yet. But I can do this in like I said before about laminating wood. I don't believe I mentioned it here yet, but I've said it to a lot of people. It's a lot cheaper to laminate the wood than it is to buy a whole chunk of wood that's 2 inches thick. So, you know, lamination process is a lot cheaper. I mean, our prices of our grips are dictated as such because we make very good quality grips. We use the best woods that you can get. You know, we hand-pick the woods for our customers. We actually travel about 2 hours out of town to the wood place that carries all the exotic woods that are nearby us. And walnut is now considered to be an exotic wood, which is kind of wild. But we hand-pick each and individual board that we're going to use for a couple reasons. One, we want the best of the best for our customers. Two, I really do not want to have to go out and buy a planer and replane something that's already been planed once already. I want to make sure that it is perfectly level, perfectly flat, you know, little to no defects, you know, type of thing. So I want the best for my customers, and that's what I do. Now, laminating the wood is a lot cheaper, but it is also equally as strong. And besides which, you're not going to find a chunk of tree that's maple and walnut combined. It doesn't happen. So if you want that mix-up of wood with different types of wood, you know, be it maple and walnut, or maple walnut purple heart, or maple walnut something else, you know, you have to laminate that sort of stuff together. And I've done multi-layer laminates before, which is thin slices, and then about 3 or 4 different wood types at least in the same grip. So it makes for a really neat pattern. And so I kind of, once in a while, I'll still do those. It's a little bit more expensive process, a lot more time consuming, so you're obviously going to have a much longer wait time for your grips. Because with just 2 layers of 3/4 inch board, I let them sit for a week to a week and a half, depending on the woods that I'm laminating, but never more than a week and a half, so that I get that full cure of the glue before I start cutting it on the bandsaw and carving it out with the Dremel, etc. Because I don't want to have that wood just, I don't want it to fly apart. I don't want to, you know, see things like wet glue showing up. when I'm starting to carve into a grip, that sort of thing. So I want to make sure that my grips are the strongest and best quality that can be made. And the laminates are very, very strong. I've never had a report yet of any of my customers having any problems with my grips, and we sell tons and tons of grips all over the world, among other mod parts. So we like to have the best. We also have a Varathane finish that we use on most of the woods, especially with maple, because the dirt and oil from your hands will show up. You're never going to get it out of the wood, especially any of the whitish woods like maple or ash and stuff. You want to make sure those are Varathaned. Another wood that we use, which is really nice, is called Wenge. It's a very porous wood, very open-grained wood, so that needs to be varnished or Varathaned with several coats actually with that wood before it actually solids up, and it turns out very, very beautiful when it's done. But I also like the feel of having the Varathaned grip, and it's going to make the grip last that much longer having the wood protected. So, anyhow, we can also stain woods too. So if you, for instance, maple grips, but you would rather have like you want the what do you call it there? I'm trying to think of the name of the wood. Ebony. I can do an ebony finish to give you an ebony look without having to get into the ebony grips, which would be really ludicrously expensive. Because ebony itself is, especially the authentic ebony, is not cheap at all. Same as Cocobolo, it's not cheap. So we can simulate Cocobolo using maple grips, so it cuts the cost back a bit for you, and whatnot. So there's a lot of different things we can do with the woods. But equally, the guns, both of them are great guns, awesome guns. They last for years. Not a lot of maintenance ever on a 2240. If it starts to leak, it's an end seal, a valve stem, and a black O-ring, and that's it for the valve. That's all the seals you need to worry about for the valve. You might want to replace the transfer port rubber O-ring because they get compression fit in there, so they may just deform and cause an air leak once you've taken the gun apart and put it back together, because you only get away with that usually 2 or 3 times. But with a 1377, you have more seals involved. I mean, it is still a good long-lasting gun. But a good way to test your seals to see how good they are in your 1377, open the gun up and just let that sit. If it starts to slowly go down, okay, then you could have a valve stem leak. You could have a number 9 O-ring leak, which is an outer O-ring on the valve, or it could be an inner. It varies, or it could even be your pump cup. Most times the immediate culprit is the pump cup, so you can try just replacing that first and then check the gun, and if everything's still good, well, then it was just a pump cup. And the pump cup will last you a lot longer if you lubricate it time to time. Like every so many, like couple hundred shots, put a couple drops right on the top side of the pump cup itself, just on the outside edge here, and lubricate that area. Give it a couple of these and work it through, and it'll work itself through without a problem, and keeps things lubricated in there. It's a lot of friction going on when you're pumping that up 10 times, so you'll want to definitely make sure that's lubricated. So a little bit of maintenance tips for you too here while we're at it. But overall, like I said, both guns, awesome, great guns. Now, not everybody can take advantage of this new grip style that I've designed. So for those of you who have too wide of a hand, and we'll just take out the measuring tape in a second so you'll know what size of hand you need. But if your hand's too wide, we can make you the top one and then take out the bottom. I've done that for a few people too, because either they preferred it without the bottom, or their hand is too wide to fit it properly. So, and I've made these as wide to tolerances as I dare. So now with a hand width, you need a hand width approximately, to use these grips, at least 4 inches wide across the back. So if you measure the back of your hand, you could even measure the front of your hand. The front of my hand before compressed in, well, with being compressed in actually, is about 3 3 3/4. So let's measure that on here and see what we get, just so that we know. So 3 5/8 is your maximum hand width, and to still be able to use a set of these grips. So what we'll do here, just give me a second, show it with the compression fit. Compression fit, yeah, 3 5/8 is going to be your maximum hand width size. So if your hand is at least 3 5/8 wide or narrower, you can use this style with the dual balancers. Okay, I've not yet designed or set up a set where it has a sliding balancer to drop even lower for guys with really wide hands. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do something like that yet. But I've seen them around on higher end guns, so it'd be just a matter of trying to figure out that style and try to incorporate that into the 2240, because it is a little bit of a different gun. So I hope you enjoyed the video, got lots of info. If you have any questions, even modding questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them as best as my ability, and we'll take it from there. If you need grips, muzzle brakes, you know, back caps, caps with power adjusters, that sort of thing, you can contact me through my website. There's an email address there for airsmith28@hotmail.com. You can contact me at kmillard10@hotmail.com. That's KMILLARD10, so number 1, number 0 at hotmail.com. And like I said, the website link will also be on my description of my video. So see you soon, and happy YouTubing, and we're going to do a video next on the Craftsman 357s with some mods there.